Hello and welcome to episode 41 of our Ostriv Alpha 4 Let's Play. It has been a very long time. Several months. At least 5? Possibly almost 6 by my count. But it is very, very good to be back. As you might have noticed, the town's expanded a little bit. I've actually played several years of gameplay between the last episode and now, trying to get the town to about 2,000 population. Since we now know that Ostriv Alpha 5 is in development, don't know exactly when it's coming out, but we've made substantial progress. We currently have a population of approximately 1,950. So I've added several new banks of houses here. I've got a lot more into this general area. I've got some more down here. Let's see, I think there's a couple more somewhere up in here. I can't exactly remember. It's been a very, very long time. But most notably, I've added a lot more orchards. It is December 1791. I'm going to go ahead and get game speed going just a little bit faster here. But we now have 10 total orchards. We've got 3 each of apricots and cherries. And then apples, we have 4. These are more or less the largest full-size orchard you can place in the game. And we are stockpiling resources like crazy. If you go over here to the stored resources thing, it says we've got almost 30,000 apples, 22,000 apricots. We've got buku of everything and 176,000 firewood. I think I finally got the firewood equalized more or less. I have all the major groups of forestries on a 3-field rotation here, planting and harvesting trees. We've got the cow population under control, we've got pigs under control, sheep under control. Everything is looking pretty good. And I think we're in for a pretty smooth ride to the rest of the 2,000 population journey here. Of course, when spring comes and these trees fill out, you'll be able to see a little bit more of an attractive looking housing area here with a bunch of birch trees. And then I've got some big cottonwoods over here. But yeah, this is where we're at. It's been quite a while for the town, quite a while for the Let's Play series as well. So I just wanted to take a couple moments today to do a little bit more building and talk to you about the future of Ostriv on this channel. So let's take another quick detour over here. I've planted right here. You're not going to be able to see them too well because it's still January, but we've got cottonwood trees along the back side of these wagon sheds here. And that's because I am next going to focus on kind of this area right here. Maybe put a couple more houses down, make it a little bit more interesting to look at here. But before we do that, undoubtedly you can see this no plot for burial up here in the corner. We are very, very behind on burying our deceased citizens here. So if we go across to all of our different churches, you can see I added a lot of grave plots here. Now, this is one of the most recent ones I added. This person died in 1786. It is currently 1792. So, obviously, that is quite a long time to have a backup going here. This church has others as well. 1787. Okay, so this is actually one of the more recent ones. It's been a couple of days in real life since I last played this, so excuse me for that mistake. But what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find another spot to put a bunch of grave plots. And I think we can probably fill up most of the rest of this right here. We just have to be able to, you know, actually get stuff to line up correctly, which is always kind of a challenge when you have such close quarters for these things. But we'll go ahead and add a few more here just to try and fill this out a tiny bit more. And of course, this area over here as well. So while we're doing this, I did want to let you guys know that this is the last Let's Play for Alpha 4 that I will be doing. I will not be starting over again until Alpha 5. And the developer has not said exactly when Alpha 5 will drop, but he has said that it is currently planned to be the next major release. So hopefully as the situation over in Ukraine develops, it becomes one that he is more safely able to do his work in, and that conflict comes to an end in a positive way. But all we can do now is hope and wait that things improve over there. The video that I last put out about the humanitarian efforts, I believe he's still collecting money for that. I haven't seen anything in a while, but he does post updates occasionally about things that are going on over there. So I don't think we're going to get any more of these grave plots in here. So let's take a look and see. See, this person, 1788. So we still are quite behind. Quite behind here. So let's come back to... See, like right here, I'm not going to have any more room here to put any grave plots on this side. But this side, I've got a decent bit, and I think we can come down this side. It's just... I don't really know where else to put it. It's just, you have a town that's this big and this old, you're going to have a lot of people dying. I really, really hope a future release of the game, ideally Alpha 5, so I don't have to deal with this again, but just, if it's in here at some point, that would be fine by me. Modular resizable grave plots where it just buries people automatically, so I don't have to put one for every single headstone, would be a nice addition. We'll see if that ends up making it onto the development log. But for the time being, until the snow thaws, we're just going to keep on keeping on, put these down in here, and do the best that we can. Alright, so we've got that. Let's check and see 1789. We're still a couple years behind. I don't really want to put too many more in here on this this front side because this is kind of blocked off. So I think I can get away with doing another layer on the side here, as long as these will correctly line up here. I don't think there's really anything to be worried about with that. We'll add another couple of rows of these. Maybe, if it decides to play nice with us. So every time I try to click, it doesn't want to go. There we go. We'll do one more row if I can get this to fit here, and I can. In real life, you would never build a grave so close to the embankment of a river, because various reasons that's not a good idea. But in game world, we can do what we want. So we'll finish up this row here. All right, now let's take a look at this. This is 1790. We are very close indeed. I don't think I can squeeze another row in over here. No, not quite. So that is, for all intents and purposes, that's full. This this church over here is, for all intents and purposes, full. Our original graveyard up in, where was it? Somewhere, yeah, right here. We could, I guess, technically put more in here, but, I mean, no. There's these people, this first grave was planted in 1737. I don't think we're going to be able to fit anything else in there. So we can't build another church because we don't have enough stone, if I remember correctly. We only have 2,136 stone. If we go over here, the church requires... Oh. Well, color me surprised. I guess we can build another church. So maybe we'll put that on our docket for today. I don't know exactly where that should go. I don't think the game really cares where it's laid out. That could possibly be a change to a future update. But, let's see, lacking any other sort of requirement for that, I think down here is probably going to be a pretty good spot given how desolate this is, because we have this here on this little point right there. We have this church up here in this populated area, and then there is one more. Forgive me for not remembering where that is. I guess I could just click on this. Oh, there's only two? Alright, well, that's why I couldn't find it then, because it didn't really exist. So I guess we can actually take some time and think of a good location for it. I'd be tempted not to put it here if that's actually the case and there's only the two. I'd probably want to put it somewhere up in this corner of the map, but it's not developed yet, and I honestly don't think it's going to be. unless I'm able to get the game to be stable consistently beyond 2,000 population. So, I think what we're going to do instead, while we're waiting for this, go ahead and save the game, because boy, am I going to be mad if this doesn't work. Okay. Save the game, and then put her on 12 times speed, which it's surprisingly stable on for a game that is, I don't know, how many math, 70 years from settlement start, almost 2,000 population, still can run reasonably well at 12 times speed. So I think the development optimizations that the game has received have improved slightly here. We're not going to put it here. There's not really enough space. I have been building more houses here slowly around these orchards. I probably don't want to necessarily box these in case I want to add more orchards up here. Obviously, these forestries are working to get this area forested out, if you will. So maybe I'm not going to have enough. I don't think I'm going to have enough stone to do 2 more churches. And no, I won't, unless I am able to demolish another set of buildings. Maybe the reason was I didn't have stone before, but I was able to demolish the something with the lime mining. I can't even remember where that was. I want to say it was somewhere over here-ish. Well, I think if I remember correctly, it was demolished quite a long time ago. Okay, stone mining camp. Oh, there's stone here. Okay, that's where the stone's stored. I can't get any more because that's all the stone they had, and there's no workers there. All right, now we're in March. So now we can actually kind of see the ground a little better. So we have to decide, do we want to put church here, which I guess would be a good spot, but not my favorite. Or do we want to go somewhere up here? Put the church. We do have one right here. And again, not that it really matters that the game is going to be super picky about where the church goes. But could put it there. Could even put it somewhere like here. I just want to make sure that it's going to be in a good location so people can take advantage of it. And given the distribution of houses relative to the location of things, here is probably not the best place, but it wouldn't be the worst because you do have this one that is accessible by this bridge. And for all these people down here, you do have that one that would be the closest. And this one is still accessible as well. So I'm honestly pretty tempted to just kind of put it up in this general area right here. This is going to have a lot of stuff built up here, probably some more houses in production, maybe another marketplace because the closest one, we have one here, we have one here, we have some here. So I think a market is probably going to end up going maybe right around where this forestry is. So why don't we go ahead and just say, well, I know, the grid, it's back again. I'm going to go ahead and say, let's put this, this church, let's go right here. And we'll get them to speed build this rather quickly. I think we, look how tiny these guys are. I think we have about 30 people employed in the builders' offices and everything. So we'll see if they're able to get this going relatively quickly. You can hear these guys working on their wood right here. I always love the ambient sounds in this game. Alright. These guys are supplying firewood all over the place, it seems. So now we've got church construction. So we'll see how fast they can build this. That'll be all sorts of fun. I don't think it's going to take very long, and I don't think it's going to take long enough to necessitate, wow, excuse me, a time lapse per se. But we will, we'll wait and see just how quickly they're able to get things going here. So while they're doing that, we are going to be getting back into semi-regular videos here. They're probably not all going to be about Ostriv. I know I have promised for a very long time to do a revisit of World Turtles because that has received substantial updates and releases since the last video I did on that game almost a year ago. So we will be taking another look at that. And I have a couple other city builders I want to explore as those are put out and developed. Looks like they're making very good progress on the church here. Should be done momentarily. Love watching these guys work. Especially like the different scaffolding and stuff it builds, and all the ramps and everything. It's like, wow. It's actually what it might be like to build a wooden frame building without the assistance of heavy machinery. So I think this entire area right here around the church is going to be churchyard. We'll plant some trees. We'll put some grave plots down. And as soon as this forestry stops being super productive, we will turn this into like a marketplace community type thing here. That'll be nice. I don't know if that will be in this episode or not, because that is quite a bit to take care of, and we are already 16 minutes in. That church is done. I guess the priest just auto-populates at some point. So, let's go ahead and slow this down. And we'll go ahead and start putting out our grave plots. Start right here next to the church. Just like so. Of course, it's automatically populated because of how behind we are. So we're not going to go too crazy big here. I do think most of the population of the city is middle-aged now. For a while, there was not a lot of population growth, so a huge chunk of people aged at the same time, and obviously that can cause problems with birth waves and death waves. So we've got... Yeah, so the bulk of the population actually is, I would say, probably under 50. We had, I think there was somebody who was 117 years old a long, long time ago in this Let's Play. But most of the people are young, so we probably shouldn't have to worry about a ton of deaths for a while. And this one is still 1790. Well, we'll just have to keep going here. Put the next bank of the graves in. But it seems the priority in this town now is going to be resource optimization. So a problem I kept running into was with the firewood. At first, I couldn't produce it fast enough for people to burn for food and everything. So I just kept building more and more and more forestries and setting priority production for firewood and not for bark for tanning or wood for building or anything. But it was still becoming a problem. So I actually figured out that the problem was there were not enough stalls selling firewood that were accessible easily for people to actually go and buy it. So I ended up placing a ton of individual stalls just for firewood all over the place. And then I actually increased the number of laborers that would deliver those things. And I think that's something I covered a long time ago in a previous episode of the Let's Play. It is kind of hard to keep up with everything over the span of, well, at this point, Ostriv Let's Plays over the span of at least 2 years. But that is something we've discussed before. So it's going to be a concerted effort, probably for the duration of the rest of this playthrough, to make sure that we have all sorts of places for people to buy firewood. We're still only at 1791, and now we're almost halfway through 1792. But this will be a good start. I think once this forestry gets most of the rest of these trees cleared out, we will go ahead and get rid of it and move it somewhere else. But just real quick, I did add extra forestries to some locations that actually don't gather logs. They're just for planting and chopping trees and everything. So obviously we're growing this one out. They're focusing on chopping trees here, and I guess I can turn that off too. But we have all these on a pretty good rotation here. Allow chopping here. Chopping's not allowed here, not allowed here. Once this one is depleted, we'll turn on chopping here and replant this. So, you know, most of these just have a pair of forestries so they can plant effectively and make sure that everything is good to go. I was going to put another one down here because we do have this one. Actually, it looks like this one has completely been depleted. So we'll go ahead and plant that again. It was just a couple years ago I had this replanted. I haven't checked on it in a while. And then down here, there's no space for forestries. And obviously up here there's still enough new growth that I don't have to worry about putting in actual reforestation areas quite yet. But let's go ahead and make sure we get these grave plots taken care of here. Just a little more of this, and then we're going to build another set of houses that will hopefully get us over the hump for 2,000. Now, since it's been a long time since I have last played seriously, I know there are other people that have had much larger towns pop up. I know on the Ostriv subreddit and the Discord. So I'm not going to make the claim that this is the biggest Ostriv town ever this time. But I don't think there's too many people that have gotten one to 2,000 population, and I know there's not too many people that have gotten it to 2,000 population and exhaustively documented it in minimally edited Let's Plays. So if you've been here since the beginning, thank you for being willing to sit through, I guess at this point, 41 episodes of about half an hour of me just talking about playing this game. You have a lot of things you could do with your time, and you chose that, so thanks. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate having you along for the ride. Just like I would appreciate if this grave plot would go down, and it does. So I think we should be nearing the end here. Yeah, so this one has not been occupied yet. I obviously don't want to leave it with just 2. That is very far from ideal. So we are going to go ahead and put down a couple on this side just to make sure that we are in some sort of a smart arrangement here. I believe I had... Did I go 6 wide on this side? Yes. So we'll go 6 wide over here. And that ought to buy us a few months of insurance for deaths. There's 5. There is 6. Okay, so that is a huge improvement. Population is holding strong at 1950. So now it's time to start building up another area of houses. And I think the smartest thing to do is just to keep building over here with some houses that have the gardens, just because there's so many houses without gardens down here. And I don't think we have quite enough food available for purchase to support too many more of those. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll go ahead and just start laying down a bunch of these guys. And we'll let them go to work and build these, and that will be one of our favorite things, which is, of course, the time lapse. But while we're doing this, go ahead and get this more or less set up in a way that makes sense. I think that's... Again, it doesn't have to be perfectly square, and wow, this really isn't. But I do like things to be at least somewhat orderly here. So we'll pop that there, and then I will clone it. And then start popping these guys in here. Try to get a couple more. See, like this thing right here, this corner is going to be kind of interesting to fill in because this is already such a tight squeeze here. I can't really get away with doing this unless I substantially move the house back. I think I can still get away with putting this here. Kind of cut off the little backyard here. I think if I can get that to work, I might want to do that just to preserve this kind of walkway a little bit. So we'll put that there. And then, of course, that will mean that right here we'll have a little intersection, which I think I can get away with doing. Another one of these. Then another one of these. And then we'll have this little space right here in the middle after I come down and edit this a little bit. So I think it's probably what I want to be doing is putting... I wanted something like that, but that's not quite enough room. So I think I can actually... I wonder if I can get away with this. Just put this here. And actually make this... No, that's not enough space. So I think what we'll have to do is get this guy going out this way. Just leave a nice big open space right there. Put him up in the corner like so. And that gives us 8 houses that are new. I think we're going to aim for probably 12 at the start here to get this going. Before we move on, we'll go ahead and save again. And now we'll come along to the back side. And we have to be careful here about pathing. Now right here, I probably have space to do another one of those triangular houses, so I think we might want to try that. See if I can get this set up like so. Again, this is kind of hard to perfectly match up, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Something I like to remind myself of quite a lot. So we'll put that there. That'll give us 9. And then that gives us the room over here to kind of come in and put in something like this. You got to be careful not to overlap too much stuff here. So it says the place is occupied. Is that because of this house, or is it because of... Okay. So something is too long. It's this one. House attached to be inside the fence area, blah, blah, blah. So I believe this should work pretty well. We'll go ahead and get the speed going up again so we're not waiting 800 years. And I think if we're able to get this to connect correctly. Okay, so it doesn't like, for some reason, doesn't like right around it here. All right, so maybe we'll just abandon that. Now, it's probably frustrating to watch, but we'll just abandon that for now, and we'll go ahead and get these 9 houses constructed, and we'll see what happens from there. There is quite a bit to be seen here, so let's take a moment and just kind of watch them build houses. We'll be back. Alright, so let's go ahead and stop here for a minute. You might have noticed the population number is not increasing, and that's because these are being filled by new marriages. So, could be a while yet before we get over the 2,000 hump. But yeah, these are just incessantly being filled with new marriages. But we are starting to see this area flesh out just a little bit more, and we've got a little bit more to come on that as well. So what we're going to go ahead and do is get some more of these planted down here. This will be a little bit of an extra length episode this week, or this week, today, whatever frequency I actually end up releasing videos on is anybody's guess, because time is an illusion. But these things just sometimes just kind of have to go with what you can do. So I guess we can go ahead and start with right here and get this to be... Okay, that's not going to fly because that's going to intersect with everything there. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I might just have to put something else here. But we are having babies born, which is always, well, in the context of this game at least, a positive direction trend. I think I might be able to squeeze a tiny, tiny plot of land house right there. We will, we'll see how that goes. It didn't put a house there. It said it would. Okay. Put that. Hey, I'm going to have to manually adjust these. It's starting to become angry with me. Such is life. That's the way these things go. But it is very exciting to see that the town is continuing to progress, even if it is kind of irritating to not get instantaneous results here. So I think what I'm going to have to do, come in here and get something to this effect going to get... We'll see when this house is finished where the fence actually ends up lining up. Because it likes to snap, but in very strange and non-helpful ways. I think that's probably going to be fine like that. I think I can get away with this if I go ahead and I put... Let's put some trees right here. They'll be fine. Because that's going to be a very irritating thing to look at. I think we are going to go ahead and start planting some trees on this side. If you remember from the comments section of these videos a long time ago, I was informed that the trees were not really ever used as a windbreak in 18th century Ukraine. That was a much later land use innovation. But I like how they look, so we're going to do them anyway. Plus it helps cover up the not perfect intersection of fence work right here. I am hoping that in a future iteration of the game, we will have the option to more granularly adjust how fences and building boundaries work. Would love that. I think there was a Twitter post a while back, at this point probably could have been a week or two ago, that the developer did put some sort of pictures showing a new residential building type that he was deforming into different shapes, skewing a couple different ways. So maybe that's a hint of features to come in Alpha 5. We can hope. But we'll go ahead and get these trees planted down. We have gotten some new families moving in. We're at 1966 now, so I do think we'll be in a pretty good position relatively soon to get some more people closer to 2,000 population. So this is going to be nice. It'll be nice right here having this area developed a little more. We have this pigsty right here. Why are there so many? Okay, we need to slaughter some of these older pigs. Keep that boar. That's something I do need to make sure that I'm keeping a little bit better of a tab on here. Okay, we are still good on our burial plots. But yeah, 1969, and I believe... Okay, so this is actually a completely empty house. We're doing good. So we'll have... Okay, they just moved in, 1973, so I think a couple more houses, and we will be in a good position to have 2,000 by the time this episode is done. Now, the question remains, can I fit a house here that is not going to be super ridiculous looking? I think this is probably about the best we're going to get, honestly. And I think we'll take that. I think we can be satisfied with that. And then I think... Well, I sure say I think a lot, huh? We should be okay if I build another couple of houses. So what I was doing here is I was just kind of extending this 4x4 matrix right here. So if we come in and get this guy, try to match up this right here. Add 2 houses there. And then I think these 4 that have yet to be built should have a pretty good chance of getting us over the hump here, so to speak. Especially since this one is not yet occupied. How are we doing on water over here? I know we have a well somewhere nearby. Where is it? Oh, right here. Okay, so I think we can stand to build another one. And I think that is going to be a good thing to put right about here. We'll put one there. And then on this side of this house, I think we can go ahead and put in some trees. Maybe not cottonwoods. Maybe we can put in some birch trees. And then perhaps a little cart parking or something. So the more of those we build, the better our City is going to be connected, and that is always a plus. So come over here and get our angle back from this guy. And get our cart parking. Rotate it. That's not quite lined up there, huh? Not that it super matters. I just like things to look nice. So I think we can go ahead and put this guy here. And we'll have some cart parking. See, we're already at 1783 because all these children being born. And they've stopped building this house for some reason. That does tend to happen from time to time. For whatever reason, they just, decide to do that. Are they at least building over here? Yeah, they're doing something. We also need to make sure that the builders are not getting stuck, which tends to happen pretty quickly when you get to a certain point in the game. They'll just kind of hang up somewhere. But this map is big enough, and we have enough of the construction offices that it is perfectly reasonable to just assume that stuff is just, bogging down. Looks like they finished this one. Okay. Oh, they have 3 young children. Okay. So, or not young children, young adult children. They obviously can't marry each other, which is a good thing. So I think this is going to be... Okay, yeah, they just settled as a marriage. So this very well could be another marriage. Yeah, that was one of their daughters moved into here. Well, that's kind of convenient, huh? So I imagine the other daughter probably would move into this one as soon as there is an eligible bachelor for her. As soon as this one is done, which should be relatively quickly, we'll have these 2 houses over here being built as well. And then hopefully before the end of 1792, we will have more of an idea where our 2000's happening. I would love for it to happen before the snow so I can get a nice thumbnail. If not, then I'll just have to wait until the next spring to get that done. Boy, they sure are taking their time on this. Let's give them a little bit more of a fighting chance. And, oh. Is that finished? Okay, that's another marriage. We're going to have to build more houses. So we have the 2 here. We have these orchards. And I don't know if I'm going to have to... Oh, there's so many. I don't think I'm going to have to plant any more orchards for a while. And if I do... Yeah, their storage is full. No, we don't need any more orchards for the time being. So I think we can pretty safely come back here now and build up some more of these houses. And get this area a little bit more built up. So we'll do a house here. We'll do a house here. And we'll do... No market stalls nearby. Don't tell me I put this one where there's no market stalls. I guess we've reached the outer edge here of where our market stalls will reach. So that is going to be a project. Definitively another project for another video, another episode here. So what we'll have to do now, I think I can squeeze another house in here. So let's see if I can do that. If I manage to get it to go that shape there. Yes, I know the house has to be inside the fenced area. I can extend this just a tiny bit more this way. Get this to more or less line up. We'll put that there. And then I think I'm going to have to start fining myself every time I say I think, huh? I think I can put this here. Oh, it's going to be a struggle, isn't it? No, that's not quite going to work. Not quite going to work. So we'll have to leave that there. As is, we have these houses that they are very, very slow at building. I believe enough of our guys are frozen now where it is going to warrant a very quick restart. So I'll be right back. Alright, so it looks like a restart has substantially improved mobility of workers and resources here. So we're going to give them a couple of moments to get back in the swing of things. And looks like we're in for another winter here. We'll go ahead and let them catch up. So let's go around here. It's almost time to add more graves again, I swear. So we have harvester going well. I haven't really had any problems with harvesting or having stuff wasted ever since I kind of reorganized how the laborers work. Obviously, they're still hiring in November because most of the work is done and the laborers are off to do other things. But almost all of it's collected. Like this farm is almost completely done. We're really not going to have any problems with waste, which is fantastic. This looks like they're just about finished with this house. The well is done. We'll go ahead and turn off production for that one. And then we'll let them finish that. While they're doing that, let's go ahead and, just because we know we have to, go ahead and put some more these grave markers down. Oh, it's always fun when the graphics of these things glitch out and don't always show up. There we go. And we have 1,991 residents now. I do think it's going to happen while there's snow on the ground, which is annoying because that doesn't make for as good of a screenshot, but, you know, you take what you get. Or as I'm sure a lot of your mothers would have said, you get what you get, you don't throw a fit. I don't know, at least where I grew up. Yeah, 1997. So I think it's going to be, okay, that one was a marriage. So we could have a couple more children being born. And at the very least, when this house gets built, if it's not another marriage, should be, there it is, 2000. So where did they settle? Where did they move into? This house. Okay, well, there it is, 2,000 people. What a milestone, huh? I guess these people have been here for 4 years, 40 years ago. Yeah, okay, they're probably some of the 58. I forget how old some part of this town is. But yeah, we're firmly past 2000 now, so that's all she wrote, folks. That's going to be this episode. What a great milestone to get to come back to uploading videos of Ostriv. We are going to have another one very soon where we build another market up here and get this area of town much more suited for, you know, sustaining life in the game, whatever that means. But as always, it is such a fun and just encouraging time to post these videos and interact with you in the comments. So please feel free. Chat it up down there. Let me know what you think. What are you excited for in Alpha 5? What do you think is going to be added? What would you like to be added? And when do you think it's going to come out? Hopefully it's soon, but I would imagine, given the way things are going over there, it could be a little while, so we will continue to wait patiently and hope for the best. And of course, you knew it was coming. Gotta advertise my Twitch. I am on Twitch at JC the Beard on there as well, doing playthroughs of mostly not city builder stuff. So if you're interested in things like RPGs or different other types of games, currently playing mostly Persona 4 Golden and a couple of other things over there. So if you feel so inclined, feel free to check it out. I do try to stream at least a couple times a month, ideally once a week if I have the time. It would be fun to have you be a part of it over there. But if not, we will see you in the next episode where we tackle even more expansion here in the town and see how big we can get before the game decides that it is not going to run anymore. But yeah, thanks again for being here. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day wherever you are. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.